So, no, you're not coming up. Today, I don't have any, like, I'm out of soil, good soil. So, I'm not repotting anything or whatever. I am actually organizing my seeds because I bought, well, this is my original seed carrier. Oh, you saw the light, yeah. I bought 2 more because it's full. Stop. Okay, fine. Come here. And we're joined by my doggie. And the story I'm going to tell today is actually, I figured I'd do the story of how we even got started with the little Arkis shop. Because if you didn't know, the Arkis Conservatory is actually, it's part of the little Arkis shop. It's the plant part, obviously. And it's actually under Arkis Media. These videos are under Arkis Media, which is DBA. And so how we got started is, 2021, yeah, 2021, my older sister, Renee, came up to me and was like, hey, you want to start a business? And I'm like, what? Because, I mean, at that point, she had already published, what, 2 of her books at least? And she's like, I just want to, you know, be able to publish them and have more control over them. I need a different bag for those. And, oh, that's good. And so, actually, I'm sorry, you cannot. I'm sorry. I love you, dog, but I just can't have you on my lap because you're in the way. Get rid of this. She wanted to have more control over her publishing, which makes sense. I mean, if you're an author and you have to go through the traditional means of publishing, a lot of people are going to tell you what they want you to change, and she didn't want those changes to, you know, to actually do those changes, because they're like, oh, you need to add this kind of thing, or like it's wheat, but and she's like, I don't want them to tell me how to write my characters and what kind of, like, themes I want to have in it, because everyone's like, no, we're not going to publish it if it's only going to be you know, because we're Christian, and she wanted a more, I mean, it's obvious, it's not like blatantly Christian, but it's definitely much cleaner books than you would typically see. So, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is either. I think this was the one that I couldn't read it. So those were a surprise. So I'll plant it and be surprised. I'll put those right there. But anyway, so we decided to start it. I'm like, sure. And we can have, like, merch for her stuff and, you know, design it ourselves and be cool and dope. And so we did. In February 2021, we created the little Arkis shop, which is soon will officially be just the little Arkis, because the shop is, like, just, you know, part of it. So, and gotta get all these seeds out so I can more clearly organize them. a label maker. I want that for Christmas. A label maker. But, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, 2021 we started, and, you know, we've had a website the whole time. It's all online. And I mean, I've had experience, we both had experience with retail. Obviously, she was a manager at a children's museum for the retail part and guest services. And, you know, I worked a lot of retail jobs since graduation. And so I know, we both know a lot about retail, you know, what sells, customer service. I actually have hobby shops on, like, Etsy, and I occasionally sell some stuff on, like, eBay, just, you know, for some extra cash, and I've had fun doing it. Didn't want to make those, like, my full-time job, but, like, I know that kind of end, and I do a lot of research. I did a lot of the research for the legal stuff, so we're all legal. I worked very hard on that, but I love this box because it's like ombre, or however you want to pronounce it. And the other ones are like rainbow, and that's alright because they were out of the ombre, but I like that ombre because it's cool. Each one is like a different shade. I like it. But anyway, so we got all that started, and this past year ish, several months, we wanted to, you know, expand, because I have a really big addiction to plants and seeds and stuff, you know, hence the 3 containers of the photo organizers that I use for seeds. And I wanted, she thought, well, let's add that in, because I mean, we kind of use plants as like as part of some of the pictures, so let's just add plants. I'm like, yes, absolutely. I've been gardening like my whole life. So, and I spend like, oh, that's not even close. I spend a lot of money on plants. And I guess it's also part of us adding the plants was her idea of, like, you know, maybe you should do it, you know, for cash so that it's not wasting a lot of money. But I'm going to waste a lot of money on what I want, so. So yeah, so we added plants this past year. That's been a slow going process because, let's face it, it's not easy to add plants, especially when you're in like an apartment, because there's only so much space. Oops. And I wanted, and we only have so much money, and I wanted to add all the plants. Like, we had if you did the survey, we had a survey a lot earlier in the year or something. I don't know what time. And we talked about plants in the survey and found out, you know, what kind of plants you guys are looking for. Like, a lot of you wanted like house plants, specifically like pet friendly, which I actually do all the house plants because my dog knows better than to touch my plants or he'll get whooped. But stop. Also, he can't really reach them. With cats, that's a different story. I don't have any cats. I'm actually allergic. But yeah, so we'll have like pet friendly ones. Not yet, because I don't actually own a lot of pet friendly plants, surprisingly, that are like house plants. But shh, I'm doing a video. Okay. So, let's organize these. Look, I gathered seeds myself. Aren't they so cute? I got cherry tomatoes, Roma, and strawberries. So cool. So cool. I'm just so awesome. But, anyway. So we got carrots. Shh. Peppers. Hey, what did I say? Ooh, I've got radishes. That's so cool. I need more space. Anyway, like I was saying, so we added the plants, and we're excited for that. We already have 3 varieties that are actually for sale. The pothos, which I have a ton of pothos cuttings, like a lot. There may be a sale coming up because there's too many, and the mama plants are getting a little overgrown, need a little trimming soon, so we're gonna have to figure something out with that. I've got some peace lilies, about 18 of those. There's like a couple more, but they're not quite, you know, the size of the others, so I kind of wanted to wait a little bit till they were a little bigger. And then I've got, what was the other one? Peace lily, pothos. Is that the only? That may be the only ones. There's going to be a Tradescendia zebrina, also known as the Wandering Dude, formerly known as Wandering Jew. It's actually politically incorrect to call it that now, mostly because it was actually called that originally as kind of like an insult to the Jews. Like it's pretty anti-Semitic. So it's called the Wandering Dude now, which I just call it Tradescentia. So, I mean, whatever. It's pretty though, and I could get a lot of cuttings from my Tradescentia. And then we've got some actual, they're not real Swiss Adamsai, or however you want to pronounce it, Monstera. They're actually a type of philodendron that looks like it. How do you tell the difference? I don't know, I'm getting there, but I know that it's not the real Monstera, but it still looks pretty cool, and we'll have those soon. Anyway, so yeah, and then that's all I can think of. That's really how we got started. We're sisters, obviously. Renee's older, I'm younger, obviously. And yeah, this is going to take me a while, but these are, I've got a lot of those. So yeah, that's how we got started. You want to see our shop, it's thelittlearkis.com, Arkis, Arkis, and yeah, we've been doing our best to get going. We've got a few pretty loyal supporters, and that's awesome. We love you guys. But yeah, so there's that. And that's the story of how the Little Arkis shop got started. And we're hoping to add more. We actually have, under Arkis Media, is Renee and her friend Mindy's podcast, which is Cookies and Crime. So if you like true crime and hearing about snacks, check them out on Spotify. So Cookies and Crime. Yeah, more to come. It's gonna be awesome. And thank you for joining me while I at least took all of my seeds out of, I've got 2 of those out of the one container so that I can figure out how to put them elsewhere. But yeah, more seeds to come too. I mean, I love seeds. I collect seeds. Do I plant them? Sometimes. I planted this one this year. Yeah. It's doing okay. But pretty good. They're pretty good. fresh produce is always the best, and honestly, if you grow it yourself, it just tastes better to me. So, garden. And that is it. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe. If you want to hear a specific story, I don't know, have any questions, let me know. Comment.